82 man, we back with some more Fire Force. You see, I fixed the audio issue, so we should be good. And this is the video is about somebody named CHAIRMANKEE. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get straight into it.
After 5 straight long years just praying that a new season of Fire Force releases, we finally get to see the glorious goats all in Company 8 back together. Man, this the stuff I've been praying for. This stuff means something to me. Somebody hand me a drink, cause I'm about to need it. But since it has been 5 literal years, y'all probably don't even remember how season 2 ended at this point, so let me catch y'all up to speed real quick.
So basically, Sheen, Arthur, and Benny
Yo, let me lock in for real. So basically, Shinra, Arthur, and Tamaki are training in Asakusa with the GOAT himself, Benimaru. Tamaki has her moment, but we low-key do not care. But we have Arthur and Shinra getting belt straight to their behind. They cannot hold the one with Benimaru. Like I'm saying, Benimaru is throwing multiple charged up creepers from Minecraft at Shinra in the corner, who's already down, and he's just hitting Arthur with a Tekken level combo. But basically, we get some good character progression from Shinra and Arthur here, because Benimaru is beating their behinds from day straight to night. But as a result of this, they unlock the press of death, making them stronger. Shinra then has an Adola link to Hage, the captain of Company 4. And if you don't remember this guy, it's probably a good thing. He was just a masochist dude who let it get beat up. But they're thinking this man offed himself just because of how much he loved pain. They don't know that a white clad member slimed this dude out. And basically the Fire Force is saying, yo, we're not finna let this slide. We're spinning back on a white clad ASAP. But then you have the white clad chilling outside their headquarters that looks like present day Dubai, and they scheming up saying they about to get this great cataclysm going for sure. And back with all the fire soldiers, they're basically saying, yo, we are not letting this happen. We are not letting them start the great cataclysm up, and we finna beat some white clad booty. Boom, you know how season 2 ends. But starting off with season 3, we see a lot of cockroaches that take inspiration from the Human Torch himself. A lot of Infernos are pulling up to the Evangelist, and they're just straight screaming. Dude cracks a devious Joker level smile, and then we cut to some random.
I'm gonna keep it a bug. Only person in this show able to crack a Joker's laugh like that is the one dude that was I'm trying to remember. I don't remember his name, but he was working with what's his name? I forgot his name. He was working with the strongest nigga right now. But I forgot his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
And I'm not gonna lie, I know Hamea is crying because of the previous season, but it sounds like she's taking some ferocious, you know what I mean? It sounds like something else is going on besides crying. Yo, like you can't look at me with a straight face and tell me you have heard someone cry like this.
This is the type of scene that a family member walk in, your mother walk in, your father come in. What are you listening to? What are you listening to? Dad, mom, I swear to you, I'm just watching a regular anime. This is nothing. This is not what you think it is. It is not what you think it is. I promise you, she's just crying. She is crying. I swear, you can look, you can sit right here and look. She's crying. It's in Japanese though, so they sound. You feel what I'm saying? Like
she's either pushing out the biggie bag from Wendy's or she's taking it. But basically she disrespects our GOAT Charon. I'm not gonna lie, if I was him I would have walked right over her then and there. But then she's talking about let's go guide the Empire to its new form. Alright buddy. But then boom, there they are. We got Shinra dropping into his fighting stance. We got Arthur dropping into his fighting stance. And they straight start running a fade for the beginning of the season. No questions asked. Sword to that foot. They on that timing. And then since it's been 5 long years, they introduce us to everybody again, acting like we forgot their names. They tell us about all their past investigations, like when they went to the Nether, when they went to the different island. But we remember all that, don't we? If we don't, go back and watch season 2, because what are you doing? But then the fade resumes, and Shinra's not flying up to go diving down at Arthur. He's actually backflipping over Tamaki, and she pulls up looking the cleanest she has for this entire series. She comes down with what looks like a fire tornado, but the best female soldier in Company 8 hits the wax on, wax off like she's Mr. Miyagi, and she gets rid of all that fire in an instant.
But we got a bug. Maki is the second best girl in the entire show. She the second best girl in the entire show.
Arthur and Shinra running the best 30 over here in the corner. Tamaki hits the ground. She dashes, starts B-hopping like you do after you hit a launch pad in Fortnite. Trying to hit Maki with Ryu's whirlwind kick, but she blocks it with her sputter, whatever it was called. Things Vulcan made for her. We got these guys, Shinra and Arthur, going band for band in this fight. They can't hit each other square on, so they just deflecting and they just clashing 24/7. Fight so intriguing, they got Victor on the laptop reading their signals. And Iris just here sitting with the button. But then Tamaki and Maki resume their one. She tries to hit her with sputter and flare. She dodges both of them. Hits the ground, dashes up at her like she's charging up a Kamehameha mixed with a fireball from Mario. Maki goes 8 mode, grabs her arm, and then throws her out of her clothes and honestly kills the vibe. Like, oh,
yes, bro. Why do they keep putting fan service in this show, bro? Like, it's gonna mess the show up, bro. I swear. It's gonna make people not want to watch it, but too much fan service in the show is weird, dude. Fan service inside of the show is already like, but too much of it inside of a show where it's actually good story is gonna get people.
Brother, did we really need this to happen so early on? You couldn't wait to at least episode 2 or at least 15 minutes into the episode. But then Shinra gets into that chrono mode and he dashes at Arthur and they end up clashing, and the clash was so powerful that it told Victor on his laptop warning. And then we're introduced to Shinra like we forgot his name and Arthur like we forgot his name. If there's any characters' names that we forgot, it definitely wasn't Shinra, Arthur, Benimaru, and me, myself, and I. Yeah, like me and Company 8, bro. Like, I remember when we fought that Inferno, bro. That jump was just so crazy. But then basically Obi,
bro, was not there. You was not there. What do you mean, me, myself, and I? You was not there. My bad for pausing too much, y'all. My bad.
Is giving this whole report to the Fire Defense Agency chief when these nobodies in the army come running up on Obi, busting through the door saying, yo, we gonna need you to come with us or else there's finna be some problems. And we don't think anything crazy about it. We just think, oh, they're finna interrogate this guy till the white clad steps into the room. Now back at Company 8, we're looking at this like it's just your average slice of life. They're talking, chilling in the sun, and even happy music is playing in the background. Tamaki is talking to Maki about their training in Asakusa with Shinra and Arthur, and she's explaining how Shinra tapped into the press of death by envisioning death, and while Arthur on the other hand tapped into the press of death by imagining that he was max level in a game and he lost his entire save file. Now I'm not gonna lie, if we was all in Fire Force, we'd probably envision the same thing, because I know you probably played a game before and you lost that save data or thought you lost that save data, and you was screaming.
Trust me, I lost my save data on Elden Ring and I would not be playing that game no more. I'm telling you, I had hundreds of hours of data on Elden Ring and it just disappeared one day. Like, it didn't corrupt, nothing. It disappeared. It just was not on my system no more, as if somebody deleted it. I'm not playing that game no more. Don't ask me to hop on Elden Ring. No.
I remember I lost my Fortnite account once, bro. Me and my friend were sitting in the chair literally crying. I kid you not, during Prime Fortnite, bro. Damn. But then they get a call on the phone, and then here we are at the Great Soul Temple, or Holy Soul Temple, whatever it's called. But then we have this no upper lip looking priest calling Division 1 to talk to them about the Great Empire. We think nothing of it. He's basically just saying, yo, with all the power we've gotten from all these new rookies, we still have not made any advancements. And we're just kind of like, okay, advancements to what? And that's when the white clad steps into the building. They're basically saying, yo, for the sake of the guy himself, Soul, you need to side with these white clad members or we never gonna make it anywhere in life. We gonna be the same bums we have been since day one. But Captain Burns is standing on business. He's saying, yo, I am not finna let this slide. You guys have done so much wrong to us. You think I'm gonna let you walk up in this temple? And do you really think we finna side with you? Are you serious? It's gotta be some April Fool's joke. But then Maya tweaks with her brain a little bit like she's a robot moving like Kawhi Leonard, and she starts trying to reason with them saying, yo, we are not about to fight on holy ground, so put your fists away. And I'm not gonna lie, they sounded mad reasonable right now. They would have convinced me even after all the wrong they've done. But then Maya gets on her Aizen level timing. She can read their mind and she's coming up with a response to combat each and everything they say. Captain Burns just stopped talking as a whole. Frozone's still trying to fight, but he's getting backed into a corner with just words alone. And they're saying that the god Soul wants them to do the great cataclysm, and that's not even the main goal no more. They want to turn the entire planet into the sun because Soul said.
You just want to turn a planet to a sun. First of all, if you turn a planet to a sun, how are you going to live on it? Second of all, how are you going to turn a planet to a star? yo, this don't make no sense. Anime don't make sense. It's official.
And now she pulls up to Burns, sweet talking him, trying to get him to really switch over. She then peeps that she caught his attention because he has some desire to know what's going on, and then he asks her what their main objective is. But basically now she's telling Burns to stand on business and stand by what he says. She says, if you're a devout priest, you better show me and you better prove that faith, twin. And from here on out, I knew Burns was about to switch on us, and they low-key even showed it in the trailer. But even without watching the trailer, I still would have known. This man then bends his knee to the evangelist, and everybody around him's going, yo, slow down, what's going on, what happened here? And then she smiles because she knows she pulled off some devious gaslighting. We then go back to Company 8 one more time, and the Lieutenant Hinowa is talking about what actually happened to Obi. Hinowa is saying that the White Clad captured him so they could lure Shinra out and get his Adola burst. And then Arthur starts playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Arthur's playing Pokemon, whatever you want to say. During this serious situation, he says draw, and then he says by offering Shinra as a living sacrifice, he summons the captain. Yo, Arthur's my goat. And I know Arthur's being Arthur, but Arthur, this isn't the time to be Arthur. You know what shuts that down quick, and you think Arthur would get serious, but he says, out of respect for Obi's wishes, I'm gonna discard Shinra from my deck. It was never there in the first place. Then Hina was saying, yo, if you're not ready to stand on business, if you're not ready to lock in, you can stay here, because I'm going. I don't care what y'all say. I am saving the captain right here, right now. And then this right here shows a true company. I bet nobody in the 1, the 4, whatever companies there are other than that 5, 2, I guess, none of them will be moving for their captain like they are right here. But Hina was like, yo, I did not expect this output. So he turns to Maki, says, yo, you have a family to go back to? Maki says, nah. Company 8 above all that. I'd get it tattooed on my back if I wanted to. Then he turns to Tamaki and says, yo, you got some people to go back to too. And she says, yeah, I don't want to be a traitor. Everybody else is going though, so I'll go too. W peer pressure. Then all of Company 8 is turning up, ready to get into a fight. Victor Starr himself is over here in the corner talking like he's Aristotle or Socrates, and he's moving different, trying to be smart. He drops a whole lecture saying, oh, nobody's opting out. I knew this would happen from day one. And they're all locked in, prepared, not even scared. He's saying their next enemy is the Tokyo Empire, but they're still standing on that. They said Obi is above all that. We're doing whatever to get this dude back. And I just know the fights this season are about to go crazy. Episode 1 might have not been too action-packed, but it did have some good content, and I'm hoping episode 2 is not no filler. I'm trying to see some action actually pop off, you know what I mean? But then they hit us with a classic opening as an ending, and I was low-key about to skip this when I was watching the episode. But then after this, Burns is talking with Haman, and he's saying, yo, if we capture Shinra and his Adola burst, is that the will of the evangelist? I'm asking you because I don't know myself. She says, yeah, you know, if we have Obi here, you know, Shinra's gonna pull up, we get that pillar back, and for his great reward, we should send him back to the fire. They're gonna turn Obi into an infernal. When this episode ended and I saw that, I just low-key sat back in my bed and I was like, bro,
bet not do that.
Obi into an infernal? I've been seeing this dude since season 1, season 2.
So I don't know,
he's like a captain to me as well. I'm lying, but I haven't even read the manga, so I genuinely don't know if he actually does. I do know a little bit from the manga. I'm obviously not gonna say it, but I'm excited to see how this turns out. But like usual, like, subscribe, comment what you think about season 3, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.
Real. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, this was definitely a W video, and I don't think I'm subscribed to him. Actually, I'm finna subscribe to him right after this. Like and subscribe. You feel what I'm saying? If you mess with the reaction, you like the video, you made it this far, you feel what I'm saying? You might as well like and subscribe. Audio good and stuff, you feel what I'm saying? I've been working on that stuff, you feel what I'm saying?